All right, we are back. You just saw us guys yesterday yesterday morning. The Steelers Rewind is back to talk about the Steelers and Patriots game. Before we introduce my co-host, I am going to go into Lucky's 13. I'm going to tell you what Lucky's 13. I was there yesterday for the Steeler game. 50-cent wings. I'm telling you what. I'm not just saying this. I'd put their wings up against anybody's in Pittsburgh. They got dry rub ones. I had Cajun and a dry barbecue wing. Very good. Very nice atmosphere. Games everywhere. They even put the Pirate game to my left. I was the only one watching that TV, but it didn't matter. So I got to watch the Pirates. Got to watch the Steelers. They both won. Pirates actually won a little bit better than the Steelers, as the Pirates won 11-0. I thought the Pirates might outscore the Steelers there for a while. But go to Lucky's. Karaoke every Friday night. That's where you'll see me every once in a while. Great food, including quesadillas, and their appetizers are phenomenal. I had pretzel sticks. They were really good. But let's get into the Sunday matchup. Philip, how you doing, my man?
Doing great. How you doing, JT?
Good. But what do you have? You have any good football food Sunday?
No. We were just chilled out and watched the game. And I don't remember what we had for dinner last night.
That's a sign of being over 50 because I know I go through that
Yeah,
as
it's called
well.
being 55, like I said yesterday morning. 55 and losing my mind.
So we are now 2-1, but I wouldn't call it a fabulous 2-1. And I know a win is a win is a win is a win. It doesn't matter if you win 40-0, look unbelievable, or win 21-14 and not look as great as you can be. But another weird game, man. These three games have been they've been all unique in their own ways.
Yeah.
Um, let's talk about it. I mean, 5 turnovers, but only scored 21 points. How do you find the positive in this game?
Well, I mean, just like you said, the takeaways are great. TJ Watt had 2 sacks. It seemed like a lot of the guys on D had a great hand in those 5 turnovers. That was great to see. It really really was. However, they only scored 14 points, I believe, on those 5 turnovers. You'd like to see another touchdown out of that at minimum, but it will take the 5 turnovers because that was the game. That to me was the big message.
And
The
let's talk
Steelers
about
win.
and let's talk about the pass rush. The pass rush. Me and you sort of touched on this Sunday morning. I think I said to just look for a couple big splash plays, um, and the defense. Derek Harmon, man. I mean, I've heard people say this guy. I've actually heard whispers. This guy is legit. Like, I mean, I'm talking like a guy that could end up being like an Aaron Donald type force in the middle of the defense, and he looked
Yeah.
like it. He looked like it yesterday. He had 1 sack. He had 3 pressures. He had a couple other times where I thought he was almost going to get a sack. And you saw that the Steelers, they stopped the run. I mean, Drake May led the team, and Drake May leads the team in rushing. I'm okay with that.
hmm I'll tell you what, having Benton right there in the middle, that's his position. You let Hayward and Benton as the bookends, Harmon in the middle. And then of course your edge rushers and your linebackers, they can do a lot of damage. The potential is there. I mean, they had 8 quarterback hits yesterday. Um, I was impressed. I was very happy to see what they did.
Now we got outgained 369 to 203, but a lot of that had to do with our offense. A lot of 3-and-outs.
Yeah.
Our defense was on the field the whole game. So I was impressed that we still came out with the sacks, the turnovers, the fumbles, while they were on the field the whole time. I mean, literally, I don't know what the exact numbers were here. Let's see, 33 minutes to 26, and I think it actually improved at the end of the game. I think we were
Yeah.
down by like 12 minutes there for a while. But do you see the like, how would you, if you had a grade the offense or defense this game, would you give the defense a better score than the offense for the first time?
Oh, without question. Especially since the Patriots had 71 plays, the Steelers only had 49 plays. You talked about, the time of possession. and with all the turnovers, with the pressures on Drake May, they had him running, which I figured would be the case. He actually got himself some very good numbers yesterday. He led the team in rushing. So the defense really showed up. They played well enough to get the win. The offense, as far as I'm concerned, they did not give up any sacks, which was nice to see. Um, Rodgers was hit just 3 times, but it sure looked like that they put a lot of pressure on the offensive line. So those numbers might be a little bit deceiving, but those are the numbers, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think the offensive line only had one penalty as well, which was good to see. I think it was just a false start on Zach Frazier, which I'd take at any day of the week when you can get that kind of play. I agree with you. I don't think the offensive line is there yet. I think that they dig up a lot of pressure. I think Rodgers did a good job of moving up in the pocket, just throwing the ball away when he had to.
Yeah.
I don't think he held on to the ball quite as long. We have a message out there, Chris. I always call him Vandy Chris because he's on part of our college network, our circuit. He's a big Vanderbilt fan, which he's got to be happy about Vanderbilt. They're ranked in the top 25. But for his Titans, he's angry at 7:05, and Brian Callahan and Shad Brinker are both still employed by the Titans. Chris, I got to tell you this, man. You had to know going into this season it's going to be a rough year. A rookie quarterback, which I think he's not doing horrible compared to some of these other quarterbacks that are in the league right now. But I think you're gonna have a rough game. You're gonna have a rough go this year, Chris. I wouldn't count on any more than like 4 wins if you're lucky there to get 4. But back to the Steelers and the Patriot game. I did like the way, and I've said this for years, man, and I sort of feel bad when I say this, but I think the Steelers are they're the luckiest team in football, man. They're so lucky. Like when they get turnovers in the most opportune times. I mean, Peyton Wilson stripped. That was going to be a first down.
That was beautiful.
It was unbelievable. I mean, it couldn't have been any later than that because the knee would have been down. It was just an amazing play by Peyton Wilson. He seems like he's one of them guys that for his career, he's just going to make plays like that. He's going to be maybe a guy you don't see a lot during the game. Then all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, that was a heck of a play. And that was, I think they got 3 young guys that are very exciting. That's Peyton Wilson, Jack Sawyer, and Nate Herbig. I think,
Right.
Nick Herbig. They got. Is it Nate or Nick? I always get Nick. Nick Herbig.
It's Nick Herbig. His brother was the offensive lineman. Right.
I was Nate and Nick. It's too close, parents. You should have gave him a little bit of a different name, but I think them 3. Jack Sawyer, I think, is going to be a beast in this league, and then we already talked about Derek Harmon. I think if you look at what Omar Khan has done on both sides of the ball, he has built youth. I mean, the offensive line's young. I know they're not there yet, but if you look at the offense and defense, like there's youth spread throughout. I mean, there's some good youth. I think the Steelers got a nice start to like almost every position. If you look at, they got a good young guy that you're looking to look at. I mean, I think Caleb Johnson is too early to kick him out right now, but I mean,
yeah, well, it's way too early. We talked about this a while back. The benchmark for me is the first 4 games. Okay. I don't know that any fan base for any team should get too crazy right now if their teams are winning or teams are losing. I know your buddy Chris is hell bent on the Titans right now, but
yeah, he is.
It's early, guys. It's early. Let's wait until after the Vikings game in Dublin next week. They're on a bye week after that. Have a little bit of a break. It's an early break, but that's okay. But that's when this team will start really formulating. That's when this team will start to gel. And I do think that we'll talk about the Vikings soon, I know, but if they can squeak out that win in Dublin next week, 3-1 is not so bad. And let's just let them play next Sunday and see where we take it from there.
I agree. I think, and the one thing about Mike Tomlin, man, I know we talked about it last week. I'm starting to see the anger but the one thing he does do, and I don't care if you hate him, you love him, he wins ugly as good as as good as any coach I've ever seen in my life. I mean, there's so many games you turn around and you're like, how did we win this game?
Right.
And by the way, Mark Mark Proy, he's like, bro, what's up, brother? He is going to be part of our Sunday morning, and he's on his way to Europe, as you see. He is going to be there. He's going to be at the game. He's going to be in the parking lot. We're going to hook up with Mark and his buddy Rob, and we're going to have a live, live
Oh,
little
I can't wait.
tailgating with the Steeler fans, which would
Be
be
fantastic.
which would be really cool. Here's
Yep.
another one, John Anzenberger. Happy to see Rodgers at the number 4. That's true. I agree with that, and it's sort of nice that he passes the guy that he sat behind for to
Yep.
start his career. So it's weird how life is full circle sometimes, man. You sit behind Favre for what 4 years or whatever it was, and
For a long
3 years,
time.
and
For a long
yeah.
time, he did. And then he got his turn,
And now
and he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. We all know that. His 2 touchdown passes yesterday were stellar. The first one to DK, or I'm sorry, Derek Metcalf. And the other one to Calvin Austin. Back shoulder pass right there.
the back shoulder pass.
The end zone. It was great.
Back shoulder pass was phenomenal. There was only one guy that could have caught that ball, and it was Austin.
Right.
DK's touchdown was basically DK just being DK. I mean, you can't give that guy a lane. I mean, he's impressive. I mean, they haven't even used him the right way yet. I mean, this guy should be getting 10 touches a game.
I got real excited when he had his first catch yesterday. He had some YAC after that, and I want to say it was 15 yards or something like that. I can't remember, but I thought for sure they were going to be in cruise control right away after that play.
And by the way, Mark says Tomlin sucks. He's definitely a Tomlin hater. But Mark are 2-1. If Baltimore loses to Detroit tonight, which could happen, Detroit's a good team and Dan Campbell's a hell of a coach. We could be in first place when we wake up tomorrow. I know it's early, but hey, any game, you know how these games matter early in the year, man. So don't hate on Tomlin yet, man. See what he could do. I do agree though one thing, and we'll talk about this week to week, Philip. I still do not see how this team, unless they all start to gel, how this team could be any better when it comes to playoff time this year. But the teams that are better than them, like Buffalo, Baltimore. The only team I think that we've sort of come back to the pack towards us might be Kansas City, where I think, but I think the main teams are the big teams. And I think the Chargers are phenomenal.
They are.
I think Jim Harbaugh knows what he's doing, man. That guy drafted the last 2 years. We do a lot of draft stuff here at Sports Bible, and his drafts have been phenomenal. They've been right there with the Steelers year in and year out. And Baltimore they draft unbelievable. I mean, I don't know how many times I'm watching the draft board. I'm like, oh man, this guy's gonna slide to Pittsburgh, and then boom,
Well, that could be your AFC Championship game right there. The 2 Harbaughs coaching against each other.
It actually
The
could.
Chargers and Ravens.
How crazy is that?
Knows.
It's a crazy thing. It's crazy. They played in the Super Bowl together. They went in the Super Bowl together, and they're gonna go in a thing. But hey, we're gonna go to commercial. Come right back. We're gonna talk about the Vikings. They got an interesting local guy, sort of local guy, coming back next week. We'll talk about him, and we'll be back right after this, guys. All right, we are back. Chris, that was a little draft storm. Draft storm is picking up headways right now, and one of the big guys we talked about was Derek Harmon. We did a lot of scouting on him last year. I didn't think the Steelers were going to select him, so I thought that maybe it was going to go after receiver in the first round. I think at the time, but happy to have a Derek Harmon. I think the guy's going to be. I think the guy is going to be a big part of that defensive line going forward, especially when we lose. Probably going to be losing Cam Hayward here in the not so distant future. Um, Before we go to the Vikings, who is your player of the game? Who's a guy that you thought, you know what, that guy? He was just the guy that you just thought, man, that was a hell of a game by him. We needed that, and who did you give
Yeah,
it to?
Jalen Warren, and here's why. He didn't get the most yards rushing, but he had a lot of receiving yards, and some of his runs were great. The guy, you can tell yesterday, the motor was running. He was hard to take down. He's just getting warmed up.
We got
He's
a
leading
spot.
the team in receiving.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he
About
is.
that.
He is, and he's. I mean, a lot of that's them little short dumps, but I mean, you want Jalen Warren out in. You want him out in the open like that because he's a tough guy to bring down one on one.
Yeah, and those dink and dunk plays, those passes they're some of my favorite. You know, the Steelers get burned on them all the time.
Yeah, we're
To
getting
be
better.
honest with you.
That's one thing I can honestly say. We look better at it this year, and I think a lot of it has to do with Warren and with DK Metcalf. When you throw a screen to DK Metcalf, I mean, this guy can make a 2 yard catch, 20 yards in an instant. So I think they're doing that right. I think Pickens wasn't really made for them quick little screens last year. He seemed like he just always got hit
I
right
don't
away and
remember
went
who
down.
he is. I don't know who you're talking about.
But
Joking.
hey, still City Crush. Sorry, Philip. The AFC Championship game will not be both Harbaugh brothers, and that is because the Steelers will be one of the teams. Hey,
I hope he's right.
I
I
hope you're
seriously
right
hope
too,
he's
Still
right.
City Crush. That'd be awesome if you're right. But
Yeah.
as of right now, I would edge towards the Harbaugh brothers. I would. I mean, I think that that the teams look good, but I mean, if the Steelers keep adding on what they did last week, the defense looked better. The uh,
Yeah.
the offensive line started looking better, and
Yeah.
New England had some talent on that defensive side. So um, it, it, they keep getting better, we're going to go into this week. And now this week, it's going to be a whole new um, set of what you got to go after now because Jordan Addison, wide receiver from Pitt, went to USC after Pitt, but he's looking like he's coming back this week. So you had him and probably the best receiver in football, if not him or Jamar Chase. You got Justin Jefferson. You got to deal
Yeah.
with two of them. Carson Wentz is a veteran that knows what he's doing. Which, being honest, I'm a Michigan guy. I would have rather seen JJ McCarthy stay healthy for this game. But it's gonna be a tough one. I mean, there's no doubt this is gonna be a good, tough matchup, and they gotta they could put some rush on the passer, so it's gonna be another good test for offensive line.
The defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, Brian Flores, we all know who he is. He is going to be salivating over this game because he was employed by the Steelers. He wants this win. You know, don't tell me he doesn't because I know he does. So I'm going to be very curious to see how he game plans against the Steelers offense. Their defense is pretty decent to begin with. You saw what they did to the Bengals yesterday. I mean, I don't even know if the Bengals are the best benchmark to compare to, but you know, they held Atlanta to 5 field goals 2 weeks ago and only 1 touchdown. And Atlanta played a good game that day. They won the game. But
Yeah, but then Atlanta lost 30-0 to Carolina yesterday. So
those were imposters. Those were imposters. I have a good friend in
That's another-
Atlanta. He was just really, really upset. He was posting all day, not a happy camper. But yeah, I just think that the Steelers offense could have a very tough time, you know, penetrating the Vikings D. Now, one of my nephews sent me a text here. He's asking why the Steelers aren't throwing the ball in the middle. Why aren't they utilizing their tight ends the way that they should? And that's something they're going to have to do against the Vikings. They're going to have to utilize Freiermuth. I think he only had 1 catch yesterday. They're going to have to utilize. They had Smith caught a good pass yesterday, but they're not getting a lot of touches. They should be featured more.
Well, we talked about this last week. We haven't used the middle of the field now for about five
No,
seasons, and it's because one of the things is because we didn't have a quarterback that could do it. Now we have a quarterback that can do it, but I don't know if he
no.
has the time to do it against the Vikings because they do. They got talent throughout that defense. They got the old Steeler Javon Hargrave. They got some talent all through that. We
They
already talked
do.
about off the
They're a
air.
very good team.
I
Yeah.
Isaiah Rogers, a cornerback, had the first time PFF ever gave a perfect score for a guy in a game, and it was Isaiah Rogers last week against the Bengals. Interception, fumble return, deflected a bunch of passes. He was amazing. They got some good young guys on that team too. Dallas Turner, draft pick
Mhm.
last year. Um, Jonathan Allen. I mean, this team is talented. And then on offense, we already talked about Jefferson and Addison. Then you add in a running back who came out of nowhere last year, and now he's got himself a starting spot, and that's Jordan Mason. He's not
Jordan
an
Mason,
easy
yeah.
guy, not an easy guy to bring down. That's gonna be another test for this defense. So, um,
His numbers yesterday were 16 carries, 116 yards, and he scored 2 touchdowns.
and this guy's been, I mean, he's been like that since last year. I mean, we came into the league as undrafted, and he's been phenomenal.
He's
How
tearing
you
it up.
doing, William? How you doing? Billy Aikens, of course, is on Sunday mornings with John Phillips. They do a great lead-in show to the Steeler games at North Park Clubhouse.
What's up,
Good to see
William?
you, Bill, on here. Um, let's see what Rob Michael. Rob Michael, the D either has a sack, interception, or completely crumbles. Rob, I agree with that. Like I said going into the game, I thought we were gonna have a splash game on defense, and we did. But I know that we already talked about it had a lot to do with the offense being on the field for um, our defense was on the field the whole game. So the yards given up, I don't think was that big a deal as it normally would. But you're right, and I talked about this. Our defense is so opportune. I mean, these games. How many games have you watching? And you're like, we need a turnover, and boom, the guy fumbles or an interception. I mean, the Steelers have been lucky like this for years, and it's better to be lucky than good, right? That's what they say. And I mean, I think his defense though is going to be good. I think it's gonna come together. I think Derek Harmon. I know he's a rookie, but I think he's the glue in the middle that's going to keep this together. Because when he was on the field yesterday, 2.1 yards per carry. He was on a limited snap count, but he had 2.1 yards per carry when he was out there. Um, I already talked about three pressures, a sack. Um, he's a guy. I mean, and from what I've heard and gathered from players and college players that have talked about him and scouts, this he's got what it takes, man. He could be that guy. He could be that new the new big guy in the middle, like like a Jalen Carter from Philly, or like how Aaron Donald was. Who, by the way, is getting his number retired at Pitt, which is well deserving. Um,
Do you remember Casey Hampton?
oh, well,
Everybody remembers Casey Hampton. He was a stud in the middle of the line. He was a shutdown, running game type of nose tackle. I think that's what Harmon's going to be.
I think he's gonna be better than that though. Here, don't get me wrong. Hampton was a player, but Hampton's job was to be 350 pounds and not move and just take on the
Face
blocks.
mask right here, right in his face like this. There's no
Take
space.
take on the blocks so the linebackers could make
Yeah,
plays.
open it
But
up
but
for the linebackers.
but
You
De-
got it right.
but Derek Harmon's not going to be that. Derek Harmon's going to be a guy that's going to be getting 8 to 10 sacks. He's talented. He's more athletic than him. But I get what you're saying. Though. It makes sense. It makes sense with the we need a guy in the middle that frees up the linebackers, and I think
Yep.
Derek Harmon is going to make a lot of plays
Oh,
this
yeah.
year. Rob Michael says, "Did you guys talk about next week's Minnesota? I wish the young quarterback was playing." Hey, I said that, man. I said the exact same words. I'd rather have JJ McCarthy out there. We did talk about that. I think McCarthy would be rattled by our defense. I think that would be another one of them 3-4 turnover games instantly. I hate to see a veteran like Carson Wentz be in there, who I know he doesn't have much mobility, but the guy has a good arm. The guy has a smart arm. He's got two very good receivers with Addison and Jefferson this week, so it's gonna be interesting. But yeah, we did touch on that, Rob. Um, other than that, it's sort of funny to think it's like our special teams look better as well if you thought about it. Like our kick return team did not give up a bunch of. I thought the first 2 weeks I thought we were going to give up a touchdown at any moment. Looked like we got a little bit better playing against a kick return. Of course, our kicking game, uh, Boswell is to me he's God. There's nothing you can say wrong about that guy.
Serial killer, as Mike Tomlin calls him.
That's what he is. And then I think Waitman's done a decent job. I actually was rooting for Cameron Johnson. I thought Johnson was a great punter at the beginning of last year, but he got hurt right away. He looks like
Yeah,
Bill Burr too. So if you have a punter that looks like Bill Burr, it's worth keeping him. But I think Waitman's done a fine job as well punting. And
yeah.
so the Steelers, I think they played better. There's still some you would like to see the offense and the defense connect together because the offense connects in that game. We score 40 points. I mean, 5 turnovers. We're going to be right up and down the field. We would have scored a ton of points. So the offense wasn't quite there yet. I think what's nice though with Rodgers is except for the interception, which was a little rough,
Yeah, that was careless.
and
Spillane was right there. He was like an open receiver on that.
yeah, that's the
And
part
Spillane had 15 tackles. We didn't talk much about him yesterday, but I knew he was going to have a very good game against the Steelers.
oh, he's a
When they
tackle
played the
machine,
Raiders,
man.
when he was with the Raiders, he played well that game against the Steelers after they released him.
Yeah, he had like a buck.
Spillane's a good linebacker.
Oh, he averaged. I think he had 150 tackles on a pace last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy I didn't get that we got rid of while we got rid of. But Holcomb made a nice play in that game too. We didn't talk about
Yes, he
that.
did.
Holcomb looked good too. So they have a lot of moving parts on that defense, which is nice. And don't forget Porter didn't play again.
When you
So
no. I was just going to say, when you have 11 guys out there and 8 of the 11 are pretty much making splash plays or close to contributing to, fumbles, stripping the ball out, punching the ball out, and another guy jumping in right in to get on the ball. And that's what they did yesterday.
yeah, and I was happy for T.J. Watt. I mean, there's so much pressure on the guy. 41 million, he ain't getting sacks. But I told you last week he made plays. Might not have been sacks, but he made plays in that game. And then
Yep.
yesterday he's going to start taking this over. And and I hate to say this too, because I know it's like a Yinzer thing, but James Harrison got held on every play. If you just watch T.J. Watt on film, he gets held 7 out of
All the
10
time.
plays. I mean, he
All the
gets
time.
dragged down, pulled down. But
Yeah.
Timothy says 10-7. Timothy, I think that's a safe bet. I think that's about right where I have him.
Yeah.
I think at the beginning of the year I said ceiling 11. I said the floor 6. So I think we're right in that 10-7 range. I think I actually now that we've played a couple games, I say the ceiling's still 11. I say the floor is 7. I still think they could hit a rough spot in their schedule if they don't get this any better than what they're doing now. Which I think they're making slow improvements, which is fine. You're gonna have a home. Let's talk about Ireland too. That's gonna be we lost a home game because of this game, but it makes sense because it's gonna be a home game.
It's
I
going to be
mean,
another home game.
it's probably gonna be more than
Um,
a home game. It's probably 90% Steeler fans there.
I would guess. I mean, you're going to see Temple Bar district of Dublin is going to be black and gold. Okay. One of my clients, they're trying to figure out where they're going to be parking and how they're going to get to Croke Stadium or Croke Park, because Croke Park is in the middle of a neighborhood, all row houses. Okay, but that's how all those stadiums are in the UK, in Ireland. It's just the way it is over there. And I just told them, you're going to have to follow the sea of black and gold going whichever direction. North of the city is where the stadium's located. So 82,500 fans, you're going to see 90% of that black and gold.
That's gonna be amazing, amazing sight. I can't wait to watch the game. Um, we're gonna be live. It's about 7:30. I think we're gonna shoot for 7:30 a.m. We're gonna do a live another one of these StreamYard podcasts, but we're gonna have guys in Ireland in the tailgate. It's gonna be loud, but we're gonna talk to them, do a quick half an hour, get some "Here we go Steelers" chants for us. It's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be real fun. Real fast. Rob says that O-line might have Rodgers hurt by week 4, in my opinion. I agree. I mean, if the offensive line doesn't get better, I thought they did better last game, but I think Rodgers did a better job of getting rid of the ball. But there's no doubt in my mind that you gotta shore that up because I mean, how many more hits can this guy? This guy can about to take a big hit, and you've seen a couple times him get up, and I give him credit so far. He hasn't flipped yet, but he's getting a little angry. You can see it.
Yeah, he
But
is. But that's him also being the coach. He's 41 years old. There's been head coaches younger than that age starting off in the NFL. I think Tomlin was still in his 30s when he was hired. So, it's nice having Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback still and him, acting as another coach, basically.
yeah, I think Tomlin was like 32 or 33 when he was hired. Being
He was
honest,
very
he's
young.
been because he's been at what 20 years or whatever it's been,
Close
18
to
years,
it,
19
about
years.
18
So
or 19. Yeah.
he's like I think he's a couple years older than me. I think he's like 50. He might be like 53 or
I
54.
think he just turned 50, 51. He might be your age.
Oh, really?
Yep.
But
Close to it, JT.
yeah,
Close
I
to
know he's
it.
close. He's making a little bit more money than me, and get a little bit more fame than me. But I'll get there. I'll get there, Mike. I promise. I will get there, Tomlin. But everybody, once again, please go to Lucky 13. You're especially in the South Hills area. I'm telling you what, man. I would if you go there and you don't like their wings, tell them that put it on the side. JT will buy you them wings because there's no way you don't like these wings. They're the best wings, especially bar wings. Man, they're the best bar wings in Pittsburgh, hands down. They have quesadillas. I'm a big believer in pretzel sticks with cheese before an appetizer during the game. They were phenomenal. So go to Lucky's. Karaoke every Friday night. So you tell me you're going out there, I'll go out there and sing in some Pearl Jam or some Alice in Chains, whatever you guys want. But we'll have a fun time out there. It's a great bar, great atmosphere. Philip, thank you so much. We'll be back
Thank
Sunday
you.
morning. And let's see, we got some last second comments here. Let's see what we got here. He's 53. That's what the John Anzenberger said. I thought he was like
Thank you,
a couple years
John.
older than me.
My cousin John. Thank you, John.
Oh, look at Rob. Rob giving me a little love out there. John is a great singer. Thank you,
And
Rob.
you
I
are.
appreciate that,
JT, you're a
man.
very good singer.
Uh, I was one time in the old days, the black and white days with you sang at bars with black and white TVs. That was back when I was good. But
Start gargling and get those voice, get your voice cords up again. Your
but I
voice
pr-
box,
I
vocal cords.
appreciate all you guys. Well, oh, here's like one more by Rob. Rob, I love it. Hey John, hope is all is well. Hope you're going to be in a cover band again soon. Rob, I will not be doing that because I love Sports Bible right now. Sports Bible takes up all my time. I will go out and sing a song or two on a karaoke night, especially if I have a female or a male out there that says, "Hey, you know what? Let's buy this guy a drink. Let him sing for us all night." I'll do that, but I'm not going to do the cover band anymore. But guys, Sunday morning, Philip, 7:30, we're going to get up, have our coffee, talk to Mark and Rob out in Ireland, see what the atmosphere is. Maybe we'll have them show the phone around or their computer around, let us see what the atmosphere looks like. It'll be a cool little thing. So,
I'll be wearing my Mean Joe Green jersey.
and guys, thank you. Please follow us. And if you're not on YouTube right now, like John is, John Anzenberger's been on YouTube. I can see the YouTube logo by his name. Please subscribe. It's a long way to go, but when we get to 500, there's an autographed Heinz Ward jersey from the Batman movie, and I know there's some collectors out there that would love to have that. So,
Yep.
keep
Beautiful
subscribing.
jersey.
But thank you guys. Thank you, Philip. Have a great night.
Thank you. All right, JT. Take care, buddy.